Sugamama was in her element today. From the moment she appeared, you could feel the energy in the room. She was moving around with so much confidence and joy, and it was clear that she was ready to show everyone what she had been practicing. It all started with a simple moment around the chicken salad. The kids had just brought her some, and she took a moment to appreciate it. She looked at the plate, smiled, and commented on how good it looked. The way she took a bite and savored it showed that she enjoyed simple pleasures. You could see the care in the way she handled the food, making sure it was eaten properly. But before anyone could even think the day was going to stay calm, she suddenly got up and started moving. The first thing that caught everyone's attention was the way she began to dance. She moved her hips in small, controlled movements, putting just the right amount of energy into each step. There was a playful tone in everything she did. She seemed to be aware of her surroundings, making sure she wasn't causing too much chaos, but at the same time, she wanted to express herself freely. She was laughing, encouraging others to join, and making sure that the atmosphere was light and fun. You could hear little bits of dialogue in between the music and movement. Questions like, "Did you eat?" and "What is you doing?" were thrown around, but they only added to the playful energy in the room. Sugamama kept her focus on dancing, ignoring any interruptions, but still interacting with those around her. As she danced, she added more intricate steps. There were moments when she would sway her shoulders, roll her arms, and then add a small bounce in her knees. The rhythm was natural, almost instinctive. It wasn't like she was trying to perform for anyone. This was for herself, for the sheer joy of moving. She encouraged everyone around to notice her steps, laughing as she did little spins and twists. "Put that little hip right on," she said, showing her focus on small details that make dance fun and engaging. She even counted her steps, joking that she had already done 10, showing both her playful side and her attention to precision. There was an infectious energy in her movements that made it impossible for anyone watching to stay still. The music played in the background, and it seemed to guide her every step. She was listening to the beat, responding to it naturally, and letting it take over her movements. Every so often, she would pause to interact with the people around her. "Girl, what is you doing?" someone asked. But Sugamama didn't stop. She laughed, shook her head, and kept dancing. It was clear that nothing could stop her from enjoying this moment. She even made small adjustments to make her movements more pronounced, ensuring her dance had flair. The way she moved her body was confident, yet approachable. It felt like she was sharing a secret joy with everyone in the room. What made this moment even more special was how interactive it became. She wasn't dancing in isolation. She was making everyone feel included. When she noticed someone trying to join, she encouraged them, but also made sure the spotlight stayed on her playful energy. The room was filled with laughter and light-hearted comments. She would occasionally make jokes, like telling someone not to knock her off her rhythm, or saying that she wasn't about to punish anyone for dancing. It was a beautiful display of both control and freedom, showing that dance can be playful, expressive, and communal at the same time. Sugamama's dance moves weren't complicated, but they were filled with personality. She would put emphasis on her hips, sway back and forth, and add small arm gestures that made everything feel lively. There was a sense of rhythm in her steps, and it wasn't hard to see that she was enjoying every second of it. She added small pauses, spins, and changes in pace, keeping the performance dynamic. The joy on her face was unmistakable, and it drew everyone else into the moment. She made it clear that dancing wasn't just about steps or technique. It was about enjoying yourself and making others feel that joy too. Even when other tasks or distractions came up, she didn't lose focus. There were mentions of needing to go to the post office, but she didn't let that stop her energy. She laughed at the interruptions, saying that turning off the music would only make things worse. Instead, she kept dancing, showing that sometimes it's okay to let the fun take priority over routine. There was a strong sense of spontaneity in everything she did. Sugamama seemed to understand that these moments of joy were precious and wanted to make the most of them. Every step she took and every gesture she made was deliberate, but also free and playful. At one point, she added some extra flair by stepping with roller shoes. The movement added a unique twist to her dance, and she seemed completely unbothered by how it looked. It was about fun, about expressing herself in a way that felt natural and exciting. She didn't worry about perfection. Each movement was fluid, and even the small mistakes added charm to the performance. Her laughter echoed through the room as she performed spins and hip movements, showing that the true essence of dance is in enjoying the moment rather than executing steps perfectly. Sugamama also had a way of interacting with those watching her in a gentle but humorous way. She would make comments like, "Girl, you are fine," acknowledging the fun energy in the room. At the same time, she would playfully correct someone or laugh at what they were doing, creating a balance of encouragement and humor. There was a rhythm, not just in her dance, but also in the way she spoke and responded to people. The playful exchange of words added layers to the scene, making it more than just a dance. It became a shared experience. The energy continued to build as the dance went on. Sugamama moved with more confidence, adding twists, spins, and shoulder rolls. Each movement was accompanied by laughter and playful remarks. She seemed to find inspiration from the music and the interactions around her. The dialogue, although casual, added flavor to the scene, showing that dancing in everyday life can be spontaneous and filled with personality. Every moment was full of life, and she made it clear that joy doesn't have to be loud or flashy. It can be found in simple movements and shared laughter. Even the way she handled the interruptions was telling of her personality. When someone asked, "Did you eat?" or "What is this?" she responded with lighthearted humor, but didn't let it slow her down. She acknowledged the questions but kept dancing, showing a sense of focus and determination mixed with fun. This balance between playful spontaneity and purposeful movement made her performance feel real and relatable. Viewers could see themselves in this moment, enjoying simple pleasures and finding joy in everyday life. As the music continued, Sugamama started adding more complex patterns to her steps. She incorporated small bounces, arm movements, and subtle spins that made her performance look lively and full of energy. She also experimented with timing, changing the pace of her movements to match the music differently. This small variation added depth to her performance, showing that even simple dances can have layers of expression if done with thought and joy. The audience watching her felt drawn in, cheering her on with laughter and applause. Throughout her performance, the interplay between her gestures, expressions, and dialogue kept everyone entertained. She had a natural rhythm, moving seamlessly from one step to another, while responding to those around her. There were moments of pure improvisation, like when she added roller shoe steps or emphasized her hips with extra sway. It was clear that every movement came from a place of joy and self-expression rather than trying to impress anyone. That authenticity was part of what made her performance so captivating. Sugamama also had a way of making the small details count. She paid attention to the little things, like the way she positioned her hands, the tilt of her head, and the subtle expressions on her face. These details made her dance more lively and engaging. She would occasionally pause to make a comment, then jump back into movement, creating a rhythm that was both dynamic and playful. It was as if the dance was a conversation, not just a display of movement. The way she handled interruptions or distractions was also part of the charm. Even when someone mentioned going to the post office or asked her to stop, she maintained her playful energy. She made light of the situation, laughing and joking, while keeping the music going and continuing her performance. This showed a strong sense of presence in the moment. She wasn't letting life's little demands take away from the joy she was creating. Her focus and energy made everyone else feel included, turning the room into a space of fun, laughter, and music. Sugamama's dance also reflected her personality in a very vivid way. She was confident but not arrogant, playful but not careless. Each step and gesture carried a sense of intentionality and delight. The music guided her, but she also guided the music with her energy. It was a dialogue between sound and movement, between joy and expression. She showed that dance can be a way to express personality, interact with others, and find joy in ordinary moments. The dialogue throughout the performance added another layer of entertainment. The questions, comments, and playful teasing from those around her were met with laughter and sometimes witty responses. "Girl, what is you doing?" was met with an enthusiastic demonstration of her moves. The mix of dialogue and dance made the scene lively and engaging. Sugamama wasn't just dancing, she was creating a shared experience that everyone could enjoy and participate in. As the performance went on, the energy didn't drop. Sugamama continued to explore different movements, adding small flourishes that kept things interesting. She moved with her whole body, letting her arms, legs, and torso express rhythm and joy. Her facial expressions were animated, full of smiles and playful glances. Each movement had intention, yet it all flowed naturally, showing the beauty of expressive dance in everyday life.